What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cheers Blueprint. I am your host, Angelica Prather, and my ultimate goal for the Cheers Blueprint is to help and equip hairstylists and beauty professionals to carve out your unique path of success and take a seat on your throne. I don't know about you, but I am in business to leave a legacy, which is so huge and vital to me. And that is why I created the Cheers Blueprint, right? A space for hairstylists, beautypreneurs, entrepreneurs to come and get real strategies, real stories from real people that have boots on the ground doing the work. And so that is what the Cheers Blueprint is here today. For you that may not know me, maybe you're joining me for the first time and you don't like, who is she? Who's this chick, right? So I am a licensed cosmetologist for the last 20 years. And before I was any of those things, right, I became an income strategist through my failures and my success. Now I have the privilege of helping and supporting hairstylists through my signature program, Charge Your Worth Academy, which is a blueprint that I put together to actually help hairstylists win financially, gain financial wellness and wholeness that leads to freedom, which is what I'm about, right? So that is what I am all about. So if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I'm here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to bring you great content. Don't forget to like and share at any time, right, throughout the video. This is an interactive show. And so if you are catching the replay, put hashtag replay. We love our viewers that are watching us after. If you have questions or something resonates with you, put it in the chat, put it in the comment section. So hello to Facebook and hello to YouTube, hello to Roku. Really, really excited. But community is a vital piece, which is why I am successful today. I do not say that I climb to any level of success without a community. And so that is why this is a live and interactive show. I do talk with my hands, y'all. So if y'all see my hands going, that's what's happening. And I'm really excited for today because I have a wonderful special guest. But before I get to that, I want to go to the chat and see who is here. So if you are just watching and you're like going to be a little shy and watch in the background, not over here. Y'all come and say hello. I say hello live in the chat, okay? But today we have Fi Finance. Thank you so much for joining us. She is here every single week, and she is one of our founding partners. Partnered with Charge Your Worth Academy, and her name is Tamara. We're so happy to have her. She said, I love your hair. Thank you. It's so nice and flat today. So yes, so I'm super excited for today's show. And if you've seen the title, it's like charging your worth, like how do hairstylists charge their worth? We hear that go around, right? But one of the things that I find that is super, super vital for hairstylists is like we love to serve, right? And serving gets a blurred line when it comes to your coins, right? And to your finances. So So Charge Your Worth Academy has partnered with so many other stylists, and it's really to help them build a business, right? A profitable business. And so we love our clients, but we find ourselves being a slave to something that we love. And I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and I just decided no more, right? So the pandemic helped me to actually put boots on the ground and start doing the groundwork, because so many of us were struggling behind the chair. And I like to say called the struggle bus. I don't want you on the struggle bus. So we do have another viewer. Who are you? I can't see your name, but hello. Welcome to today's episode. I'm super excited. Put your name in the chat if you're following me on Facebook, because it's not allowing me to see your names. Okay, but if you want to come to YouTube, you can come to YouTube, just Angelica Prather. But I don't want to get too sidetracked, but thank you so much for joining us. And one of the vital reasons why I started Charge Your Worth Academy was because so many of us want to build legacy, but a lot of us don't know exactly where and how. Thank you, Dream World Media Group, for joining us. Super pleasure of having you here. He actually is the production, so a lot of our team is actually joining it, and I love it. But like I was saying, one of the vital pieces and the reasons why I started Charge Your Worth Academy was because I was my own success story. And I knew what it felt like to actually want to level up in your business. And you hear that all the time. But how do you level up when you really don't have the blueprint, right? No one's showing you, no one's teaching you, no one is literally having boots on the ground with your business. And so I decided that I was not going to just watch on the sidelines. I was going to show up and actually help, right? And when I say help, I'm not doing the work for you, but I wrote my blueprint and I wanted to share it. And so, like I said, community is vital, vital, vital. And now today I have the privilege of bringing one of my own students, and she's going to share her success journey and how she actually started in the industry and what was her experience being like in Charge Your Worth Academy. So if you've been wondering what this Charge Your Worth Academy, you're going to hear it not just from me, but from a student who's actually walked this through. So stick around. I'm going to take a quick ad break and then I'm going to bring her up. And her name is Ingrid Lundy. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Angelica Prather. I've been a hairstylist for 17 years, so I know exactly what it takes to run a business. But I wanted to step up and show up and support my own community so they can start charging their worth. No longer are we on the struggle bus. Nobody has time for that. So I've created Charge Your Worth Academy. You have me teaching you one-on-one in a group coaching setting, implementing the systems and strategies, the recipe to really win financially. Nobody's on a broke wheel. But if you're ready to charge your worth and you're tired of figuring it out all by yourself, this is how you can join. Go to my website, which is angelicaprather.com. And if you happen to be here right now, there is a button down below. Click that button and be ready to join. And so just a little bit of tip. You also get a complimentary 100% free income strategy call. And so what that is you're just talking to me one-on-one, getting to know where you are, where you desire to go, and what's missing from your business. And if you're a perfect fit, you'll join the program. I'll see you soon. Hi, I'm Angelica Prather. I have some exciting news. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that little technical difficulties. But I wanted to simply just say thank you again for everybody who is here. If you would love to connect with me, simply just go straight to my website as the ad told you, right? So just go to my website and you'll be able to see everything there. But today I have a wonderful guest, my student, Ingrid Lundy. And I hate to call her just my student. She's become like such a good friend to me. And when I say friend, I just love the seeing people's growth, right? Really seeing the friendship blossom into this way of like, wow, like where you started and where you're going, right? So I'm going to bring her up really quickly. All righty. So hello, Miss Ingrid. How are you today?
Drum roll. Hello, my beautiful queens. Hello, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that.
Yes, because we do share everywhere. So I'm super excited to have you and have this conversation today. So tell everybody exactly who you are and what it is that you specialize in.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Ingrid. I'm the owner and founder of Belle Hair right here in Massapequa, New York. I specialize in microlinks extensions from 2A to 4C hair types. And I also do silk presses, color, and scalp care.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I didn't want to botch your title, right? I didn't want to get in. I said, let her do it, right? She's the CEO of her business. So tell everybody, because we all have these unique names. What is Belle Hair so that people can understand the history behind it?
Oh, okay. Yes. Funny you asked that. I did a video on Facebook on Belle Hair. Belle Hair actually is my grandmother's last name. It's a family name. It's Belle Hair, which is French. Her full name was Rosemary Belle. So that's why I have roses.
Yes. And we know
And
that hair
shiny
is a plant and it grows from without. And so she likes to create that beauty. But today we're going to be talking about you and your growth, right? Because we met 6 months ago. And
Yes.
tell everybody where you were in that journey 6 months ago.
Well, 6 months ago, I was basically not struggling, tired. I was overworked. I
Mm,
was working like 14 hours a day and also getting up sunrise before the sun even comes up
mm,
and leaving when the sun goes down. And I was so overworked. I was tired. I wasn't taking any breaks. I was just, my back was hurting. I was just fatigued. And I was doing all this, but yet I still didn't see no profit. I
mm.
didn't see nothing. I was like, why am I killing myself? What is it that I'm doing wrong? Because everybody else is posting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all this on this luxury vacation and stuff. I go on vacation. I love that. But I had to work my behind. And I'm like, where's everybody just posting and putting all this? Oh, I made this. And I'm like, I'm working so hard, but I don't see that.
Mm.
You
And
know?
yeah, and that's so good. And I appreciate your honesty and your transparency because it's not easy to just say, I watch other people win and now I am, I'm kind of feeling it. So that is huge that you would be so transparent and so vulnerable. And I think that a lot of hairstylists, it's okay that you're in that place and that you're watching and you're like, I know I want to do something different, right?
Right.
And it's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I decided to step up and I love that. So when you got to that place, what was the changing point for you to say enough is enough? Because I'm sure there was a journey to actually meeting me. So tell everybody how that actually transpired.
Well, okay, yes. Um, well, like you said, enough was enough for me, and I said I need to do something to have a change. And one of my friends, Donita, hey, I don't know if she's in the chat or anything is viewing, but I seen a difference in her in her business. So I was like, Donita, what you doing? What's going on? I'm just like struggling and I'm like frustrated and so forth. And when she told me about you, I was, first of all, I didn't understand. I
Mm,
didn't get it. I never knew there was a coach out there that did this for a stylist. I never knew. So I was like, oh, so I could get somebody that will look at my background, will look at my business and tell me what is it that I need or try to help me out to go astray a different direction and so forth. And so that's why I contacted you. And then we got to talking and talking and talking. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, maybe this
mm,
could happen. Maybe this could
yeah.
be good. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give her a try. Okay.
The good thing is that she said, I'm going to give her a try. So I don't force anyone to come into my program, right? They are just at a place and they're like, I need something, right? Something has to change. And so thank you, Darnita, for being an example and showing her through your life changes, right? Your life is a direct reflection and people are watching whether you know it or not, right? So
Right,
that's key, right? And then
right.
secondly, what I love that you shared was that you just were at a place where you're like, okay, someone can help me. I didn't even know it was a thing, but I'm gonna give it a
Exactly.
try. So many people
Exactly.
just don't know. And so in our industry, just so for the viewers that don't know, a coach is like a new term to them. We're used to going to educational classes, sitting there learning a
Right.
trade. We're not talking about the business at all.
Correct.
So a lot of times we're following what we have learned in the salon. And so if other stylists, it's like monkey see, monkey do. If other stylists are
Exactly.
doing it, we're kind of following a suit. So if you don't have a good blueprint, you find yourself just copycatting because that's all we was shown, right? And so tell everybody how long you were in the industry.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened to me. I've been in the industry uh okay for over 20 plus years. I was
Wow.
corporate. I was right behind the desk typing, yeah, hello, thank you for calling, and stuff, and sending out emails and so forth. Um, but I've been doing hair ever since I was in college. But
Wow.
was in college doing hair, and then I went to corporate, and then I got laid off from my job, and it was around 9/11, to tell you the
Mm-hmm.
truth. That's when
Mm-hmm.
everything was going short, and 9/11, and that's when I said, you know what, I'm gonna go and do hair. I'm
Mm.
gonna go ahead and do hair because that's what I can't work for other people no more, getting laid off and taking vacations when they want me to, But so I said, okay, I'm gonna go work for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
then so I've been in the industry 20 plus years, but I had my license 13 plus year. And
Mm-hmm.
Belle Hair was only established in 2019.
Yeah. Okay.
2000.
I
So
love
I've been
it.
doing hair for a while, but
Yeah.
I just never been, you know,
Mm. So I love that you said your story is you got fired from a job and you decided to choose freedom. Right.
correct.
And so let's just look at she decided to work for herself. That's what being a hairstylist, you have the freedom to create the life that you desire. The problem with that is if you don't have a blueprint of what that freedom really looks like, you end up following bad behaviors, old methods that just don't work. And so, yes, you have this amazing gift, but now the gift is making you a slave to something because you're thinking every dollar that comes into my business is like a survival tactic instead of knowing exactly who you are and what type of business you're going to have first, right? Having a plan in place. And so, thank you for just sharing that because I don't think that a lot of people understand that being a hairstylist allows you to be an entrepreneur first,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
To have
Correct.
freedom. But if we're following broken models and we're hustling, we are literally can end up killing ourselves. The thing that we love can turn into a burden and being burnt out and and just tired behind the chair. And so many
Yeah.
stylists are at that place. So thank you for that transparency. I'm going to go to the comments really quickly before we move on. And so we have Five Finance saying the mindset shift is real. We've all been there. So she's definitely
Yeah.
giving you a prop.
That's
And
true.
yeah, and she said it's okay to ask for help. So glad that you are filling in the gap. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then she said, you were pushed into your passion, Ingrid, and she loves it. And that is
And you
true.
know what? Not to disturb you, but you know what? She's absolutely right. All throughout my life, my career, hair was the only one that always been behind me. Even when I was working in corporate, I worked
Mm,
for a cosmetic company
wow.
that still had to do with like makeup, hair, with
Mm,
cosmetic.
yeah.
And they saw that I had the background. They saw that I had my license, and they
Mm,
were like, "Oh, we could use her."
yeah. And
But
why use it for them when you could use it for yourself? So we
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think we have some of the Belle hair family in the house. Is it Katina Lundy? Is she in?
Katya, that's my sister. Hey,
Okay.
sissy.
She's here to support you. So let's just jump into it. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. So let's get into this, right? You joined the program. And what was your first thing about this whole because this is new, right? No coach. This is a new thing. You tried it. Your mindset was like, I don't have anything to lose, right? So now that you're
Right.
in the program, you can tell them the truth about me, how I
You see my eyeballs, right?
am. I give y'all full permission. Hey, Evanescence, thanks for joining us here, getting your family in the building. I love it. So yeah, tell them exactly how your experience and some of the things that we covered that was like mind blowing for you.
First off, I was stressed out. I was when I first started, I was like, what is this? What is going on? Homework that she was giving us. It was really, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. What are you talking about? Income? I didn't know where my numbers were. I didn't know nothing. You were asking questions I knew nothing about. You had to basically chip away to the bottom to see where I was. And it was kind of stressful for me. I was pulling my little hair that I had left. I was pulling my hair out. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never did this. I don't know. Until you came along, like I was so dumbfounded about everything. I was like, wow, this is what I needed to do. I was so shocked and flushed. I was so shocked. And I was like, okay. But then I did the homework and I did it. And we there.
Yes. And so what we do is we chip away your finances. The key to what I always will say, it's not enough to make money and not know how to manage it. Okay? So if you don't know how to manage your money, then you have no business. There's no profit. There's no growth in your business. You're just in the business, right? And I always ask them, are you just a hairstylist or a CEO? So not only am I helping you with your finance, but I'm helping you graduate to that CEO to really start thinking from a revenue perspective. Not that you're taking money from anybody, but to break that mold. So I remember when we raised your prices, right? When we raised it, talk about that feeling, because she was very shocked how she was so undercharging. So y'all heard earlier in the show how many hours she was working and how low she was, because not only do we don't just teach you a blueprint. So you have the blueprint, but I'm in your finances, and it does make you uncomfortable. So I'm not gonna lie, right? It does make you uncomfortable because you never faced it. But how much longer are you not gonna face it, right? How much longer are you gonna say, well, I'll just keep doing this? And then what, right? So tell everybody, when it was time to raise your prices, what was some of those feelings? Because I think that's important.
I was like, no. Straight up, I'm being honest. I'm like, because I'm going to lose. My fear in raising my prices was I'm going to lose my clientele. I'm like, I got bills to pay. So I was scared. I was really, 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 really scared. And I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to stay with me. I don't know if I'm going to have a clientele. So I was so used to and accustomed of working all these hours and everything that I was like, listen, it is what it is. But I was really scared to raise up the prices because I didn't know if anybody would pay the prices.
So that fear was the thing that was like almost going to hold her back. So we have a little bit of time where I'm like, okay, let's look at where, once we dig through all your finances and we call it the yummy money, right? We come up with this number. And then when we have to increase it, now we also do the income calculator that really shows you how much you should be actually generating in your business to make a profit. And so I love that. Right. And she was like, there was some resistance there, because a lot of times we are accustomed to the number, right? This number that's like, it's emotional to us, right? It's like, they will pay that. We start telling and projecting what our clients will pay. Right. And that's not really, it's not a business. That's emotional, and emotions don't pay bills. I can't go to the bank and say, hey, I gave all of my clients a discount and I can't pay my mortgage. Like, you're
absolutely right, because that's what I was doing. And that's what I was doing, all these discounts to get the people in. And I was, but yet, ironically, I was still struggling.
Yeah.
I was still struggling.
Yeah. And so there was that tug of war. We have some questions, so I want to make sure that I get everyone's questions. So I love it. Okay. So we have a question. What advice would you give to someone to start pursuing one's passion? Now, I just want to clarify. Are you asking me or are you asking Ingrid? Because I want to make sure that I give it to who else is. We have Darnita said, thank God for deliverance. Yes, that fear.
Thanks, Darnita. That's right.
We have Harriet in the building. Thanks for joining us. She said, love the yummy money. She is actually going to be on the show next week. So you'll hear about her story as well. So she's one of our alumni in the program. And then Five Finance said, inflation is a natural occurrence and our prices should reflect the natural progress. I'm so glad that Angelica is teaching this. So thank you so much. So just let me know. I want to make sure that we answer the question really quickly, but I'm going to answer it if someone wants to start with their finances, right? So I said, pursues one's passion. And a lot of times when we are at a place where there's that fear, right? There's that fear of if I do this, then everybody's going to leave me, or I'm not going to succeed. But I always tell people to change the mindset and say, okay, if I do this, then what's the gain? Because if we're looking at it from a loss or a scarcity mindset, 9 times out of 10, we're going to draw that scarcity, right? So I always just say, just start. Because it doesn't matter how long you've been in the industry, and I'll tie this into income. Doesn't matter when you start. The fact is that you started. That is key. And so like all of my students they're in different seasons of their life, right? And so that doesn't hinder them from starting. But now let's go into this, right? As I love it. So, and hopefully that answers your question and I was able to give you some clarity on that. But I would just say my best advice is to start. Start no matter what. Start scared.
No matter what, you start.
Yeah, whether you're scared.
Just start.
Yes. So let's go into some numbers because I think this is huge, right? I don't just teach you how to manage your money, but I want you to have what I call runway money. So when you started in the program, how much did you have in your savings?
Oh, really? We're going to get into that?
Yes. She's scratching her head, y'all.
I didn't have that much. Okay. I didn't have that much saved up. I didn't.
Okay. So it would be less than 1,000 or a little bit more than 1,000?
More than 1,000. Yes, more than 1,000.
And less than 5.
I'm not saying it's 10,000. I'm not saying it's 8,000. Let's say between 1 to 5.
Okay. We'll do that. We won't have to get specific. But now let's talk about how much do you have currently today?
Over 15,000. I'm not going to be getting the correct number. But it's up there.
Okay. So I'm not saying this to boast and to brag. What I want to show you is that this was only a commitment of her yes for 3 letters. Y-E-S. And she did it with fear. She stuck it out. She stayed the course. She went through all of that, right? But what she has today is for 6 months, she stuck to the process. She didn't quit. And she is sitting with literally over 15K in her savings account, her runway. Her business now has money that she can say, hey, if something happens, I'm not a slave to this. I can actually strategically say, I'm going on vacation. And so I do want to cover this as well because I think so we got people rooting you on. She said, yes, Ingrid. Super proud of you because I think that's very important. So I definitely want to go into, before we get into where you are now, and we got Harriet, she's congratulating you as well. So we're super proud of you, right? It's not enough for stylists to just make money and generate it, right? But let's talk about the process. So after we raise the prices, let's talk about all of the fear that kind of happens. What happened to you with your clientele? Because I know that, like you said, it was one of your fears, right? All of my clients are going to leave me. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. I was scared. And once the prices went up, a lot of my clients were texting me and say, is that correct? Is that the correct price for a silk press? Is that correct for this and that? And I'm like, yes, that is correct. Remember, I sent out a mass email informing them the price was going to go up. Some will just say, oh, okay, and never booked. And I felt a lot was like, oh, okay, thank you. And I felt like, wow. So were you coming for me just because I was cheap? I was low pricing so you didn't value me. I felt like nobody valued me then. You know, I'm about to tear up. I felt like and I also was like, well, am I doing a good job doing hair? I start questioning myself and I start like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do hair. So people are leaving me and so forth. So that was a battle between me. And then I had all this time on my hand. And I was like, what the heck am I going to do? What the heck am I going to do? My clients, but then it was a slow couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden it started picking up. And then the people that stayed with me knew my value, knew me, knows how I do hair. And they're like, nah, Ingrid, you know how to do hair. Your prices. There was one client that said, your prices should have been way up before. I was like, then why didn't you say anything? obviously not going to say anything because they want the discount. They want to pay cheap, but they're like, yeah. So
Mm,
it was a battle. It was really a struggle for me because I started questioning myself if I was any good. I started putting myself down,
mm,
and I was just like, oh, nobody like. I don't know how to do hair. Nobody likes me. Nobody value me. Oh, this business is gonna go under. And mind you, we started this business in 2019, and then 6 months later, I had to shut down because of
mm,
COVID.
yeah. Mm.
Everybody saw the business during the pandemic, but then now it's thriving because of you.
Well, because of my blueprint and my failures, believe it or not, there's nothing that you guys are experiencing that I haven't experienced myself. Nothing. And that's one of the greatest teachers is leading with the fear. So I know every emotion, which is I almost prepare you, right? I walk you through the journey. I don't just jump you out there, right? I literally
Right.
will hold your hand. But something that you said that was so key was like everybody's going to leave me. She had this emotional connection. I want people to understand this connection, right? This connection to money and this connection to my business is my baby and this connection to everybody's gonna leave me is almost a false sense of reality when it comes to understanding that the business is separate from your worth. Everybody has a net worth, but I have to tell you, what is it? Why are we attaching ourselves? Our money doesn't define us. But if I am a CEO of a company, it is my obligation and my right that I generate money, that I can take a paycheck home. You do not have to apologize for any of that. That is not something you need to apologize. And we have someone say, know your worth. And so just because of my program called Charge Your Worth, it is about money. That is a marketing. That's why it's called that. But we get
Right.
into so much more than the understanding of money. Money is something that we will always be able to make. But what we don't get is time. And so if she
Right.
stayed on this wheel, when I say the struggle bus, if you stay on the bus of struggling over and over and over again, by the time you will run out of time,
Time, right? Exactly. And time is what I like more.
right? So I think that is so powerful, and your transparency and just going there is one of the keys because I every time I felt it. Like I'm not just your coach. When I feel like you're getting off, I'm like, what's going on? Let's have our one-on-one.
You
Let's check
did, you
it.
did. You contact me, and many a times I said to you, I don't know, Angelica. I don't know. I don't think this is. I don't know, Angelica. I don't think this is right. Oh, I don't know, Angelica. I kept coming to you like that. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And you were like, it's okay. It's okay. Just breathe. There was so many times that I wanted to go back to the way it was because that's what I'm accustomed to. That's what
Mm,
I'm used to.
mm,
And I prayed on it. I prayed. I was like, God, I need you. But I look, I keep thriving through. I
mm-hmm,
keep going through, even though I might be afraid and shaking and be like, you know what? Let me go back to the way things were. And I
mm-hmm.
was like, nah, Ingrid, you can't, you can't. And I just keep going.
Yeah. And so I just want to clarify so that people that may not even understand and know exactly what this is, right? So there's that fear, right? If you've always seen yourself just doing the same thing, it's because it's common. You're like, oh, let me go lay on that blanket, right? But we desire more and greater. But there's this period of growth. It is so uncomfortable. Now, this doesn't happen to all stylists that walk through the program. I've had some people that's literally like, oh, my clientele just, was like, no big deal, right? I had a little bit of pushback, but everybody's still booking. They might spread them out, but they're still booking, right? So everybody goes through it. But because she was so low, and I want to clarify this so that people can really understand. A price point attracts a certain type of customer. So if you are extremely low, you are attracting a certain type of customer. It's like coupons. People that love coupons, and I love coupons too, but I'm not cutting them all out. Like I just ain't got, like I'm not doing that. I like to save a coin, but there's other ways that I can save, right? But I'm not gonna go and do it that way, right?
Right.
However, when you start going into this premium, there is a certain type of client and the elevation and the conversation that has to shift because you are leading with a scarcity mindset. The moment she started to shift her mind, and believe it or not, while her clients were leaving, she was actually still making more. She just had time to reflect. It was showing in her numbers. She wasn't in the salon from sunrise to sunset. She was breaking over, doubling her numbers, but she still was feeling it, because if I'm busy and now I have time allows you to reflect. So it's not that it was hurting so much in her pot. She felt slower. You're gonna feel slower.
Because I'm so used to accustomed being 6 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 10 o'clock at night and waking up and doing the whole thing all over again.
Yeah.
So now that I was making more, and then now I had all this time, I'm literally like,
what am I doing?
what is there for me to do?
Exactly. And I think that's the part that people, like when I say make more, work less, a lot of times people say they want time and then they get it and they're like, wait, I don't really know what to do with myself. Like, what am I supposed to do? So before we get into the next part, I want to tell people exactly what is it that now that 6 months later, because you shared this in our group coaching call, and I want people to understand, how is tell us about your health, because that was a key point for you during this season as well.
Right. Yeah. In the beginning, like you say, sometimes we go in a call, and I'm like, yo, I can't sit in this chair. I could sit in this chair now. I can't sit in this chair so long because I have back issues for standing up all the time, all those hours. I don't know if it was a sciatica or whatever, but my health, I was not eating right. I was gaining weight. I was stiff and so forth. But now that I have the time, I'm going to the gym. And my health is a lot much better. Mm-hmm. My back doesn't hurt. I could sit in the chair for a long period of time and so forth. So I'm glad about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's being a little modest. She actually lost a significant amount of weight joining this program. No, and this is not, I'm not going to put the number out there, but it's to show you that when you have time, you're able to take care of the CEO, right? You're taking care of everybody else. I just wanted to throw that out there, because when you're taking care of everybody else, you're not taking care of self. So she's running herself raggedy, and she's telling you she wants to go back because that way feels familiar. But in order to be the next version and the best person and go into this next level and to deal with the new premium clients, I got to be healthy to serve them.
Right.
How could you serve them? You're not going to be able to serve them.
I'll come to work tired, but I'm still pushing forward. I will come to work tired, in pain, stiff, back hurting, feet hurting. I wasn't taking care of myself. I looked like a hot mess at times, sometimes coming in sweats and stuff, no makeup, hair. They're like, okay, yo, what you want? You want a silk press? Okay, come on in.
I love it. And I just want to appreciate your transparency. I'm going to go to the comments real quick, because they kind of going in. So I want to make sure that we address them before we get into the next round. Yes. So we have congratulations from Sean Williams. Sean is joining us all the way from California. Hello, Miss Sean. Thank you for joining. And we have Darnita. She said that to me too. Yes, I was on them. Your success becomes my success. And I don't take that lightly. When you say yes, I know that yes comes with a tremendous commitment, but I'm not dragging you. So let me just put that out there. I don't drag nobody, right? But when you say yes, because I don't believe in holding someone to the point where they don't want the transformation for themselves. Right. Once you commit to it, you're going to get there. So, and then we have 5 Finance that says, she said, we all want comfort, but life is hard and it's about choices. To progress, we have to want we have to do what we haven't. And she's absolutely right. Sorry, I can't.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's severe, right?
Yes. All right. Your sister says, hang up on them folks, and she ain't lying. I love it.
Let me tell you, my sister be giving me some good advice, and I need to listen to her more often.
You do. Your sister's in your corner.
Thanks for all the support. She's a great support.
She has been, because a lot of times when you feel defeated, you say, my sister would say. And I love when I hear that your family is on the journey with you, because as you're growing and excelling in your own life, when you have someone, when I'm not with you, that's like, you can do it. You got it. You can keep going. That's what you need. And I always say your circle, whoever, what was like a transformation truly for you is because one of your closest friends had a transformation. And I would say your
Correct. Yeah.
circle is important. Who you surround. When I say community, I don't just say it because I'm like, oh, I want to just have a community. No, it is so true. If all of your hairstylist friends are talking about we slow, it's not busy, they're not doing anything to promote or grow their business, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the next one. Look at your circle. But if we're all growing and elevating, then yeah, right? That's the thing. When we hear iron sharpens iron and birds of feather flock together, those little statements are not just statements. Look at your social circle. And between Darnita, who was on last week, and now you here this week, it just lets you know that your circle is so important. Your community is vital. So I love that.
Yeah,
She
my
also
sister, I tell you, yep, Donita, my sister, and my whole family, and they're good supporting. She did my marketing, so
Yes. And so I know she asked a question as well. I want to go back to that just to make sure that we answer everybody's question because it is an interactive show. And so she said, what advice would you give for someone to start? No, that's not the question. She asked another question. We went over that. I want to make sure. Y'all going through the comments pretty quickly, so I got to make sure that I answer them all. Okay. She said, what about promoting oneself? And so this was a really good one too, because we don't only just cover in about your finances, but knowing who your target audience is. And so I'm so glad you asked that. Yeah, girl, you are a good supporter, right? Because I don't want to leave nothing out. So
that's my marketing sister.
One of the things that you struggled with too was you were doing everything, every service. Her menu was all over the place. I was like, how could we cut this down? Because you're talking to so many different people, right?
But you know what? But I'm sorry to disturb you, but to tell you the truth, I thought that's what a hairstylist was supposed to be. That does everything. Relaxes, cut, color, weave, silk presses, natural twist. What am I missing something?
Wigs.
All of it.
Yeah.
Wigs. What? All of it. I thought we had to do all of it. But in reality, we don't have to.
No. So my key ingredient is, and you've heard this, a jack of all trade, master of none, right? But I love that stylists try everything, because in order to become a master at something, you have to try everything. What happens with hairstylists is we never get off the train of trying everything. So we get different clients. If I'm servicing kids, then I'm going to a silk press, then I'm going to making wigs. You have no consistency in your business, and you're talking to so many different ideal clients. So what did I have you do? I'm like, okay, we audit our service menu first. What is the thing that you do not love doing? And she was immediately said, what was it that you said, I need to remove this? And that was
braids.
I know you got braids in your hair.
I got them in my hair, y'all, but don't judge.
I love it.
My hair. The way for me to do that is to put braids.
Protective style. I love it. And so just removing, and I'm so glad that you said that. So many stylists think that they have to do everything. But we were able to focus in. I'm like, what is it that you absolutely love? What's the thing that when you do it, you're like, yes, because that is what's going to translate to your clients. Because now you know who to market to and how to promote yourself. And so, yes, we go into your numbers, but we definitely know that it's key to talk to your ideal clients, right? And so there's certain language. She was never used to going live. So I just want you guys to give her a lot of hearts, okay? Because this chick was like, I will never go live. I'm too nervous. And she's doing such a good job here. So we do have another question. What was her numbers when she started and what are they now? So that's a really good question.
That's a good question.
Okay. So let's just,
because I know what it was started, because like I said, I was all over the place.
So she was generating, and only because I'm not going to go into exactly details because it is her personal finances, but I will be very clear. When she was working these hours, she wasn't breaking in a month. She was not hitting between the 4 to 5K mark ever. It was significantly low. So she was really roughly around that 3K mark. Sometimes it was a really good month that she hit 35. So I look at the track record. I want to go through your...
Angelica, we could be truthful and honest. I was like 1,800, 2,000.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
Who could live... Well, I'm in New York. Who could live off of that in New York nowadays? That's why I was working all these hours.
Yeah. Yes. So I appreciate your transparency. She's like, let's go there. She's like, I'm past that.
It's fun.
So now let's talk about your this is the key, because this is what I live for. When my students are like, yo, I literally have done it. So her numbers doubled, right? They doubled. She was working less. And so let's talk about your month in April. What was your month in April?
Uh, oh, wasn't it 9,000, 8,900 or something like that? Yeah, 8,900, 9,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
if y'all want to celebrate with her, that's her number. She was making, and so let's just be
Give me
clear.
some
She said a
hearts. Give me some
month.
hearts.
Yes, give her some love. Make sure that this is vital for her. She was not making, like she said, she just being totally honest. It was maybe 2,000 a month. And let's throw this out. What did you do in the month of April? Where were you?
Where was I?
You know,
Oh, see, I've been to so many places. I forget. I was in Florida. I
she
went
was
to Florida.
she was on vacation.
I was on
So
vacation.
she did not sacrifice her vacation, and she still generated those numbers. So when you understand working less, making more, there you have it. There you have it. She didn't do anything but follow the blueprint verbatim, with fear, with anxiety, but she did the work. She did the work. And now there's so much more. What I love is, like, once we move out of that way, I know even her clients that she's servicing now is a different type of conversation.
Yes. Yes.
She has a different conversation, and I love it. So everybody's giving you some heart. She said, Five Finance said, wait, what? Yes, those are her numbers. Okay. So I love that. And then Sean actually gave you a lot of heart. She said, yes, queen, she is doing it. Yes. So you quadrupled your revenue along with fear. Yes. Did people leave you? Absolutely. We
Absolutely.
need to
But
make
yet,
room.
I gained.
Yes. Let's talk about that gain, because the clients today, who are they? Because they see who you are. So when I say who are they, when you're going to work, how do you feel? Because a lot of people, we talked about the fear, right? All the people was leaving you and they didn't see how how you were valued. Now those clients that you're servicing, how do you feel after servicing them?
I feel wonderful. I feel great. And the clients that's coming into my chairs now are doctors and nurses. There are a lot of nurses, not a lot of nurses coming into my chair and getting, because I do the microlinks, and that's what they need, that versatility in their hair. So yeah, I feel great, and it's a total vibe in the room, a totally different vibe in the room. We conversate, we talk. It's more relaxed. It's not like gossiping. You understand what I'm saying? If,
Mm-hmm.
if y'all can relate, I know y'all can relate.
Yeah.
It's not like gossip. Well, this, that, da, 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 so forth. But
Mm-hmm.
it's totally different.
Yeah, because you're now attracting people that, number one, are not focused on the value of the dollar. They're focused on the service and what it is
Perfect.
that you're going to give them, right? So I seen her work, fantastic work. The problem is when you're servicing people that just can't match that, they're going to almost try to keep you at their comfort. They're with you for several different reasons. And I'm not talking bad about people, but I really want to stress that certain people are there for whatever reason. And you have to, if you have this scarcity mindset of, let me hold on to every client, right? They don't belong to us. We have to make room for those who are going to come in that understand Belle Flair hair, right? And understand that you are a CEO of a business and that it takes financial resources to run. And you
Right.
have to run your body, which means you can't work all the time. This is a
Right.
physical job, and nurses understand. They
Yeah.
completely understand. They're on their
Yeah.
feet, and when they come to get their hair done, they want to enjoy their time getting their hair done. So
Exactly.
I love it, love it, love it.
I
I am
think a lot of people too. Let me just say, can I say one thing? I think a lot
absolutely.
of the majority. I think when the prices go up, I think a lot of clientele or clients think that that money is literally going into my pocket. No, it's not going into my pocket. It's going back into the business. Ingrid is getting this much, okay, but the chunk of it is really going back into the business, and so forth. Yeah.
And I love that you said that, because that's something that when you were making the money, you were just clumping it all together. You weren't really
Right.
separating
I wasn't
it.
separating it.
So now, like when she said this much, she receives a paycheck from her business, which, let me just say this to hairstylists, you have to pay yourself. But here's the caveat. Her taxes, she has money for her taxes. She has money to pay all of her personal bills, because that government is going to come after your coin. And here's my next part. A lot of people want to make revenue. So there's a lot of coaching programs or a lot of people that's going to educate you on this, but I am going to keep it all the way real with you. I don't just teach you how to make more revenue. I want you to actually know how to manage your revenue, right? Because if you don't know where the money's going, then you're a slave to the dollar. We are not in for slavery at all. Those days is over. So I can't just help you increase your prices, but not teach you how to actually manage it, so that when the time comes, because more money, they say more money is more problems. The reason why it's a problem is because you don't know how to manage it. You are not getting the information that you need, or you're just like, I'm balling on a budget. Y'all heard me say this. If y'all didn't watch my other show, like What's Your Money Mindset, What's Your Money Story, go ahead and watch it. But one of the things that I am going to share with you is that when you are leveling up and you're making this money, like she said, she gets a chunk of it. And it's a nice chunk for her to live off of, but everything else is paid. That stress of not having, and that's why we keep working like a dog over and over, because we're thinking the more I make, the more, the more I'll make more money. So I teach you less clients, more revenue. The right clients, ideal clients. So I'm so excited. We have your sister's clapping. She's like, yay! and Samara says, yes, pay, check. I endorse this message. And so she loved that you said that. And then she also said, right now, Ingrid doesn't have to use her personal finance to fund her business.
Right.
That's huge.
That's the key.
Yeah, that is the key. We got Dreamer Media Group said no manage, no money. No manage, more money. No. You're right. So, and I want to, before we start closing out, I really want to kind of talk about this. Your sister brought it up and I want to make sure, because your website, right? A lot of times we have stylists focusing so much. What I will say, and I will give you credit for, although she came in with a lot of fear and she wasn't doing things right, her support system was like, get a great website. So she had a website that was actually sending her traffic, but her price points were so low that I just want to tell you this. If you're getting traffic to your website and your prices are low, 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, she probably don't know what she's doing. Right? So she has such she still had the same website, with it being SEO, focus on search engine optimization. That is what she had, that she brought to the table. She had her skill that wasn't going nowhere. And she had a beautiful functioning website that actually did the work for her so that she can sleep while she was stressing out. So Ingrid, just tell everybody what's next for you, and give someone a piece of advice when it comes to the journey of being a hairstylist and being a CEO, because I think that that's super important.
The next step for me is possibly expanding Belle Flare Hair, not only in the hair, but in the nails, in the makeup, and so forth. A whole bunch of Belle Flare hairs, okay? But if you want to start a dream, just do it. If you have a skill or anything, don't be afraid. I know I was afraid, and at times it's okay to be afraid and so forth, but just go forth with it. Just pull through. Just go and do it. Yeah. That's all you have to do. Just start. You have to start. You can't, if you don't start, you're just going to be stuck where you at.
Yeah, I love that. And I just want to thank you so much for being here and
Thank you for
sharing your
having me.
transparency, your heart, and your passion. And she's on to new things, y'all. She is not the same Ingrid she was 6 months ago. We're not having the same
No,
conversations. So I just want to
no.
say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Say
Thank you for
goodbye to
having me.
everybody in the
Bye,
chat. Just
everybody.
wait backstage and I'm gonna close out and then we'll chat after, okay?
Okay.
Guys, I just want to simply say for those who like tuned in live with us, thank you so much. What I want to say is that this is not about me. This is not even though I'm the host. The show or me starting the Chairs Blueprint and Charge Your Worth Academy had nothing to do to glorify me, but her story was to impact someone else. That's all I got into it for, right? I never wanted to actually set up to just do this by myself, right? I wanted to actually show up and do the work and help other people. And the fact that listening to Ingrid's story and listening to her transformation, that brings me so much joy. And seeing her just become this successful CEO is exactly why I'm doing it. And I just want to duplicate that, right? I just want more people to have these transformations. And I get it. It is an investment. She decided to say yes with her mind, even though she did not, she couldn't see it at the end. She couldn't even imagine, even though she wrote it down, you can't imagine if you've never done it. And that joy and that feeling of like, I got this. What do I have to lose? I've already been losing. Like I can't run myself down into the ground. So I just want to encourage every hairstylist. And if you're not a hairstylist and you're joining us, share with a hairstylist. Take the time out to say, do I know somebody? Do I know any person that can actually say, let me share this? Because I think this would be a solution to you. There's a lot of people that are clients that sit in their stylist chair and it's like, hey, this will help you. So if you haven't taken the time out to subscribe to the channel, I kindly ask you to subscribe and leave another comment under the comment section. Connect with Ingrid. All of her information is in the description of this video. Follow her on her social media platforms. It's in the description of this video. And I'm just so honored. Like today was like, because I'm having my students on, I'm feeling a little bit emotional because they're winning and it's changing their lives. That's the only reason why I got into this, is because if it changed my life, when I know what it felt like when I was like, oh my God, this is, I can be home with my children. I can love up on my husband and still make money. I didn't have to compromise. And sometimes with life, or as you're elevating, you feel like something has to fall to the wayside, but you can do it all. I always say, if God gave it to you, he can help you manage it. He's going to give you the grace to manage it. He gave you the gift and the talent to do hair. And I always tell hairstylists, you build confidence. You don't just do pretty styles. You build confidence in people, and that is priceless. So know your worth. Alrighty, until next week, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.